Pronouns appear in first person, second person, third person, and they appear both in singular and plural. In addition to subject pronouns, we also have object pronouns, possessive pronouns, and so forth. So that in an object or possessive, we have a different form, and the same goes for first, second, and third person. This is no different than Hebrew, and right now we're going to focus on the subject pronouns in Hebrew. Hebrew subject pronouns appear both in singular and in plural, and these are standalone. This is it's only in the subject form of pronouns that they're standalone. The rest, whether they're possessive or object, those pronouns in Hebrew are all attached to the words that they modify. So we have two forms of the first person pronoun, ani and anochi, and this is just equivalent to I. Then there's the masculine ata and the feminine at, form of you. And then there's who, which is he, and he, which is she. Then in the plural, we have anochi, which is for we. Then again, we have atem, masculine plural, for you, and aten, which is feminine plural for you. And there's two forms of the third person plural, they. In masculine, you have haim or hema, and hain or hena. And so this is just they. Pronouns function as the subject of sentences in Hebrew. So, for example, ata ish. This is what Nathan says to David after David has diagnosed the parable in 2 Samuel chapter 12. And David accuses the rich man of his treachery. And Nathan comes back with, ata ish, you are the man. So you'll notice it's just, ata here functions just as a subject of this very short but important and powerful phrase. Hebrew, like English, has demonstratives. Now, a demonstrative is just very specific. Ze and zot are the masculine and feminine for this. And ele is for both masculine and feminine plural. It is these. Now, in addition, there's also, to this and these, there's also that and those. Namely, who also can function when it's not about a person for that, and he also for a noun that's in feminine, he would function for that. And again, you have the third person plural pronouns, masculine and feminine, also can function as those. Now what you'll notice here is these demonstrative pronouns are both the ze, zot, and ele. Those have the near function. That is, it's this one and these, as opposed to the far function of that and those. Now, how do these demonstratives function? Well, they function just about like adjectives. And I'll try to illustrate this. Let's start with a noun. We'll start with a definite noun. Haaretz, the land. Now, if we wanted to speak about this land, then we have to put the demonstrative on. And since land, just like almost all earthly properties is in the feminine, so too land is a feminine noun. So we put on zod, but this isn't quite right. Just like an adjective, so too with the demonstratives, it must have the same definiteness as the noun that it modifies. So since we have the land, we have to have the definite demonstrative as well. So that is literally the land, this one, and we would just say this land. Now, what if we also want to add an adjective? Well, that's no problem. First, we add the adjective, and then if we also wish to use the demonstrative, we can do that as well. So notice what we have then is we have the land, the good one, this one. So we have to have the same definiteness and the same gender, feminine, feminine ending, feminine demonstrative. So then how we would read this or translate this in English is we would just say, this good land. But in Hebrew, we put the noun first, the land, the good one, this good land. The plurals work just about the same way. So we'll start with ha'irim, the cities. And first we will modify it with an adjective. Ha-gidolot. Now remember, cities, because it's associated with the land, is feminine. So we have to use the feminine plural ending on the adjective because the adjective has to agree in definiteness and it also has to agree with the gender. Feminine noun, feminine adjective. And then I'm going to add a demonstrative to this, and I'll use the near demonstrative. So here we have ha-ele. So again, notice that the demonstrative is for masculine or feminine. So those ones, and in this case it has to be definite as well to agree with both the noun and the adjective. So here we have the cities, the great ones, these ones. So we have these great cities. The demonstrative pronoun then, remember, it works just like an adjective. It can be a near demonstrative, a far demonstrative, and it needs to agree in definiteness and in number and in gender with the noun that it modifies.